Hey YouTube, welcome back. Now we are only days away from April, which means we're about to experience several changes around the New Horizons Island over the coming weeks. These vary from celebrating the latest holiday and seasonal events to discovering weather patterns and phenomena that can be encountered and much more. Of course, we'll cover both hemispheres as we go, but most of the changes apply to both anyway. So if you're still playing New Horizons or you're excited to see what April has in store for us, be sure to leave a like. It's super helpful and is a great way to help other Animal Crossing fans discover the video. Anyway, here are 7 changes and new additions we can expect to see during the month of April. Number 1. Weather phenomena. Now April is a pretty special month because for 10 solid days you won't see a single drop of rain in the northern hemisphere. From April 1st and through to April 10th, the chance of experiencing rain or heavy rain is 0%. This is a rare occurrence and basically allows us to experience the cherry blossom season in the sunshine. April also sees the end of river and sea fog that can usually be found in the mornings between 5 AM and 9 AM around water. It makes sense now that spring is here and weather patterns are typically warmer. It also means you'll need to water your dry road fragments yourself. However, for those in the southern hemisphere, river and sea fog as well as heavy fog will now be much more common as you play further into April. Number 2. April events. Now it's not always the case as Easter is occasionally celebrated in March, but this year April marks the start of the Bunny Day celebrations. For only 8 days from the end of the cherry blossom season, the New Horizons Island will be transformed into an egg spawning ground in honour of the Bunny Day festivities. From April 10th and through to April 17th, earth, leaf, sky, stone, water and wood eggs can be found and collected around the island. Their locations generally correspond with their type, so leaf eggs appear on hardwood trees and stone eggs are found inside rocks and so on. These are an event material and can be collected in the lead up to Bunny Day, where Zippity Bunny will return to host the event. Recipes are typically found in bottles and balloons and from villagers or Zipper. Now the Bunny Day series is the largest furniture and clothing set in the entire franchise, so you're going to want to save all the eggs you find. Number 3. Seasonal materials. Now since the start of spring in the northern hemisphere, which was before the festival event, it's possible for young spring bamboo to begin spawning around the island in the northern hemisphere. These are of course used to craft items from the young spring bamboo series and not to be confused with the ordinary bamboo series. These will continue to be available through April and into May. However, a second seasonal crafting material will be available for 10 days from April 1st through to April 10th thanks to the cherry blossom season. Cherry blossom petals can be found floating around and can be used to craft limited time cherry blossom themed items. Unfortunately for those in the southern hemisphere, no new materials are available yet, but it's still possible to find and collect acorns and pine cones during the autumn season. Number 4. Seasonal items. Naturally, as we enter a new month, the next wave of seasonal celebrations or seasonal events become available, including the final day of April Fool's Day, the start of Sigmagil, prom season which lasts the entire month, Nature Day, and finally Children's Day. These 5 seasonal celebrations introduce at least one seasonal item each that can be purchased from the Nook Stop in honour of the real world events. Number 5. Island aesthetics. Now the most obvious change we see in April is of course to the non-fruit bearing hardwood trees that bloom the wonderful cherry blossom petals and completely change the look of our islands. This lasts for 10 days and sees more and more cherry blossom petals floating around as the days go by. April 10th is a super interesting day because the cherry blossom season overlaps with Bunny Day, which means we can find the oddly satisfying leaf egg cherry blossom trees. This of course only applies to the northern hemisphere as the cherry blossom season doesn't occur until October in the southern hemisphere. Now other changes to the island's aesthetics include the bushes, as the red and pink camellia bushes stop blooming at the end of March, and once the cherry blossom season ends, the pink and white azalea bushes flower in their place. The southern hemisphere on the other hand may have already noticed a change to the bushes, as orange and yellow tea olive bushes have just begun flowering and will continue to bloom for the entire month of April. Number 6. tourneys. Now, unlike the bug-offs, the fishing tourneys happen at the same time for both hemispheres, so no matter what region you're in, the next fishing tourney takes place on April 9th. For any new players out there, you'll spot CJ at the plaza, who hosts a quick time trial tourney to see how many fish you can catch. You can then exchange these fish for points and then for prizes from the fishing tourney series, including items such as the fish door plate, the fresh cooler and the fish pochette, amongst others. You can also win one of 3 trophies too. Now, the mechanics of the fishing tourney don't change between hemispheres, but the fish you can catch during them do. It's spring in the northern hemisphere right now, so only spring fish can be caught, and of course it's the autumn in the southern hemisphere, so only autumn fish can be encountered. Number 7. Critters. Now, as with every new month on the New Horizons island, we can see a shift in the types of bugs, fish and deep sea creatures that spawn. Players in the northern hemisphere will now be able to encounter 22 new critters on top of those staying from last month, including the Madagascan sunset moth, the snapping turtle and sea pineapple, amongst others. Players in the southern hemisphere can also catch new critters, but only 6 new creatures can be found, including the ladybug, the dab and the spiny lobster, amongst others. Of course, this is great for new players, but if you've been playing for a while or encountered them on boat tours, you may not need them, but they're still fun to catch. So there we have it. That was 7 changes we can expect to see around the New Horizons island over the coming weeks. But what are you most excited for, and are there still cherry blossom recipes you need to find? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you so much to all the patrons and channel members for supporting this content, and until next time, have an amazing day, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.